And we went to have dinner. And she walked out of there after having dinner with another little girl. They sat at the same table at a Bonefish Grill. It was awesome. And we walked out, and she said, "See, Mom, there's other people like me." And I went, "Okay, we got to have a kids group." So that was when I realized we had to do the support group for the kids. But it was because she went to dinner, and she had that experience with another little girl. Before then, she had been just ticked off at the world. But because she had that experience, it started her change. Now, she's been gluten-free 5 years. So you would think that grief process was over, right? So this was the question I got from her. So will I always have celiac? This was after a sleepover. I had dropped her off at a sleepover, and when I picked her up, the girls had ordered pizza, and she had to do without. And had I known, I would have taken her a pizza. But I don't think it would have really mattered. It was that moment of her being different because nobody else was gluten-free. And so when I picked her up, she said, "So will I always have celiac?" And I'm like, "Yes." And it was almost like we went right back through the grief cycle. She was angry. Then she was depressed about it somewhat. You know, we talked about, would she ever fit in? What would she do when she dated? You know, these are things that, and I have had stories sent to me that are just awful. I mean, I had a girl who was 25 who was dating a guy, and it was getting pretty serious, and they went to his mom's house for dinner. And she overheard them talking in another room, and the mother actually telling him not to marry her because their kids would be celiac. And I mean, these are stories that happen, and it's heart-wrenching, but you know what? For every bad story, there's a good story. So, you know, you just have to keep that chin up and keep plugging on. You're going to find someone who's in your life who understands.